Previously on the Horizon project, we sailed into Charleston, experienced some amazing sunsets on the Atlantic, faced a wintry storm in Beaufort, South Carolina, and explored Fort Clinch in Fernandina Beach, Florida.
So this is the Bridge of Lines. We're going to do a workout today. It's cold. It's about low 30s, St. Augustine, Florida. And this is the majestic Bridge of Lines.
What are you excited about?
That it's only 7 o'clock and we get to go home and get to read and get in our sleeping bags.
What? Wait, why?
Because we love going to bed early.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and getting all snuggly.
Half a mile dinghy ride back out to our
Might get
boat.
wet.
So after a wonderful last night in St. Augustine, we headed south on the ICW and quickly found ourselves aground in Matanzas Inlet, where shoaling is really bad even if you follow the markers. And we were approaching a low tide and decided to call Towboat US, who dragged us through the sand, and we were so nervous the whole time that our steering cable was going to snap because of the pressure on our rudder. Luckily, everything was fine.
Good morning from the intercoastal waterway of Florida. We've got the sun peeking up. It's probably 7:30, not super early. We were up this morning just to get a head start on the day. We've got Captain Anna at the wheel, bringing us on down the ditch. And we're hoping to make 50 miles today. What do you think about today, babe?
It's gorgeous. No fog. It's still cold, but the sun is up and no clouds, so it'll warm us quickly.
Looks pretty wild down here.
What's the situation, Captain?
Well, yesterday we busted our water pump belt. It's probably slightly out of alignment and can be adjusted forward or backwards with a shim or a washer of some sort. And we overheated a little bit, and I heard the engine making a weird noise, but not for very long. She shut it down immediately. We were under sail, so we sailed into anchor nicely. Worked out really well. And I'm really hoping that we didn't overheat to the point where there was any other damage other than, well, just the broken belt. And we worked our way into Cocoa Beach this morning after anchoring on the north side of their last high-rise bridge. Found a belt, and we're back here with it, so we're going to try to put it on. While I'm at it, I think I'm going to check the water pump itself, make sure everything looks good, and then we'll put it all back together. Impeller looks good, seal looks good. I just replaced this, I'd say less than 100 hours ago. It looks bent, but that's the way it's designed to catch water and send it through the diesel. So we're gonna say that's good, and that's good. Thankfully, all that is intact. I was afraid that there could have been a one of these blades of the impeller and had gotten lodged in our cooling intake, and that would have not been good. But all is well on that front, so we're thankful for that. Now I'm just gonna put the water pump back in its place and put the belt that we just purchased back on, and we'll see if we can get her to fire and continue to spit water and cool the diesel. That's what we're after.
There goes a rocket launch. There it is. This is the first rocket launch I've ever seen. This is really cool.
Me too.
It was right on time too. There it goes.
There's people yelling over there.
It just looks like a ball of fire.
So I'm literally upside down in our lazarette engine compartment. Our stuffing box is leaking at a rate that makes me nervous when we leave the boat, because we're only reliant on our bilge pump at that point as our last line of defense. So this is probably one of the most uncomfortable jobs that I've ever done on this boat. Stuffing box is meant to drip in order to lubricate and cool the prop shaft, as it comes into the boat, but it's not meant to drip this much. And I think the engine is out of alignment. That's a job for another day. So we'll release, there's a lock nut or a jam nut on this. We'll release the jam nut, which I've already done, and then give the packing nut a quarter turn or a half turn to see if we can compress that lubricated flax, which is actually the packing that's within the jam nut, in order to decrease the rate of drip here. But I think I've got a handle on it. We'll see. We'll revisit this. This is probably, like I said, I'm literally upside down. You can't see my feet as they're almost sticking out of the lazarette.
Now my brave husband is risking his life swimming with the bull sharks in Lake Worth to clean our prop. How's it looking, babe?
Definitely a few barnacles, a little growth on the prop. Zinc looks good, which is good, but we'll probably replace it when we get to warmer. This is not actually cold, but when we get to warmer water.
So we rented these bikes over in West Palm and rode across the bridge and down this beautiful bike path on the water, Lake Worth, and now found this little trail that comes out to the beach. And wow, that ocean's angry. This is one of the reasons we're not going offshore. Oh, there's the inlet right there. Well, we're headed offshore. We're leaving West Palm Beach. It's been a great stay. We've been relaxing and working on the boat and getting her ready. We're looking at making a crossing in a few days. Wind's gonna sort of start to clock out of the south Saturday night, and then hopefully we'll take off from Fort Lauderdale on early Sunday morning. But right now we're stepping outside of Palm Beach Inlet, West Palm Beach Inlet. I don't know.
Lake Worth Inlet?
Lake Worth Inlet at Palm Beach. And looks like we have a decent wind. We're getting ready to raise some sails right now. Wind's in our teeth, but we'll have some sails up here in a few minutes. Captain Anna at the helm. Look, ma, no hands. Because we've got our self-steering wind vane doing what it does best, alleviating the captain from actually having to steer the boat. And we've got a rod, we got a line out, but we just had a hit a minute ago, but whatever hit it spit the hook. We're having a good day here. Seas are about 3 to 5 feet. It's a little bumpy. You never can tell via video.
I think we got one. We are heading to the Bahamas today, exiting out of Port of Everglades, and the wind is still out of the east, but it's supposed to clock to the south, making for a great path. We are hoping for a great sail and to make some good time, and hopefully we'll be in Eleuthera by Monday mid-afternoon.
Yeah! So I don't know if you can hear me over the humming of the diesel because we're motor sailing towards Spanish Wells or Eleuthera or somewhere in that direction. But I'll speak up so you can hear me. But this is how we make dinner, or in this case ramen, at sea. Anna's on watch, so I'm down here in the galley, and I don't know if you can see our stove gimbaling the way it is. but it's an indication of what the seas are doing. Turn on our gas control. Yeah, blue flame. And it will boil water for this delicious meal of top ramen chicken flavor. Yeah. I'd say seas are 2 to 3 feet. In the Gulf about 3 hours ago, it was nasty. I mean, it was blowing. It was nasty. It was not fun. Easily 6 feet. I'd say 4 to 6, and then maybe a few bigger. It was an absolutely gorgeous sail. Calm seas, decent breeze. We were doing about 6 to 7 knots, but we dropped to between 5 and 6 now. But overall, a gorgeous day, and the sun should start to peak up here in a little bit. Well, we're about 18 miles from the cut before we enter Spanish Wells. We've got light air at our backs, and we're going wing on wing with a pulled out Genoa and a mainsail with a boom preventer tied in. And I wish we had a little bit more breeze because it's messing with our self-steering wind vane. Does not like light air. But Spanish Wells is here we come. All brand new and crispy because we've never used this before. Our yellow quarantine flag that we're required to fly when we come into a new country prior to checking into customs and immigration. We have land in sight. We just landed a big mahi too, or it was bigger than the last one we caught. So I'm gonna hoist our yellow quarantine flag. This means we have cooties until they tell us we don't.
Very likely we do.
We're approaching Egg Island and Little Egg Island, and from this you may not be able to see the amazing watercolor as the depth jumped from 12,000 feet to 1,000, and then what are we at right now? About 60 feet? 55. Yeah. So this is our first cut into the Bahamas, and Captain Anna is here to take us in. What do you think about the trip so far?
It was great. Gulf Stream is no joke, especially in the center. I think our biggest wave was 8 feet. I got seasick, but then recovered. And now we're actually not even wearing shirts, so it's warm and beautiful, and the water is amazing. So I can't wait to moor up and cook the mahi that we caught today.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to the bounty of the Bahamas.
Join us next time as we explore Eleuthera, cook up one of our favorite meals, and soak in Queen's Bath.